you finished the presentation. Everyone clapped and said it went well. And the first thing your brain did was find the one moment you stumbled over your words. You have been here before. You know exactly what this feels like. Most people call it insecurity. They think it means something is broken inside you. But the people who doubt themselves the most are not the weakest people in the room. They are usually the sharpest ones. That is not comfort. That is a pattern. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. 1. The mind that knows too much. There is a concept in psychology called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It is the finding that people with low ability in a subject tend to overestimate how good they are at it. They do not know enough to know what they are missing. But here is the part most people skip past. The reverse is also true. The more you actually know about something, the more clearly you can see your own gaps. You stop at a coffee shop before a meeting and replay 3 ways the pitch could go wrong. The person who knows nothing about the pitch sleeps perfectly the night before. 2. The invisible ceiling you built for yourself. I had a friend who spent 6 months preparing for a job interview at a company she had wanted to work at for years. She could answer every question perfectly in her bedroom mirror. She walked into that room and told me afterward that she felt like a fraud the entire time. What she was feeling has a name. Psychologists call it imposter syndrome, the internal experience of believing you are not as capable as others think you are, despite clear evidence that you are. It does not visit people who are coasting. It specifically targets people who are trying to reach something real. 3. The brain that will not let you rest. Your brain has a built-in threat detection system. Neuroscientists call it the amygdala, a small, almond-shaped structure that scans constantly for danger and risk. In people with higher cognitive awareness, this system fires more often. Not because there is more danger. Because the brain is better at imagining what danger could look like. You walk into a room full of people and your mind has already run 17 possible social outcomes before you said hello. That is not weakness. That is a mind doing exactly what it was built to do, just doing it at a higher processing speed than most. 4. The standard that keeps moving. I remember sitting with my notes after finishing something I had worked on for weeks. I read it back and immediately started editing. My neighbor once showed me a painting he had finished in an afternoon. He thought it was great. He never touched it again. The difference between us was not talent, it was the internal benchmark we each used to measure done. Psychologists call this metacognition, the ability to think about your own thinking, to evaluate your own output while you are producing it. Smart people have more of it. Which means they are never fully satisfied, because they can always see the distance between where they are and where they believe they could be. 5. The lie that feels like logic. Here is the trap that catches the most perceptive people. You feel doubt. You look for evidence to explain the doubt. And because you are smart, you find it. You remember the time you got something wrong 2 years ago. You recall the one person who did not respond warmly. You build a case. And the case feels rational because you built it carefully. What you do not realize is that you started with the conclusion and worked backward. Cognitive behavioral researchers call this confirmation bias, the tendency to search for, interpret, and remember information in a way that confirms what you already believe. Your doubt becomes a prosecutor. And you are the only one on trial. 6. The person who never questioned anything. I watched a man on the subway once. He was reading something on his phone, nodding slowly, completely certain of whatever he was taking in. He did not pause. He did not look up. He moved through the world like everything made sense and fit together perfectly. I do not know his life. But I noticed something about his face. He looked completely at peace. There is a cost to certainty that nobody talks about. The people who never question themselves are not always the most grounded. They are sometimes just the least informed about how much they do not know. 7. What the doubt is actually doing. Self-doubt in a sharp mind is not a flaw in the system. It is the system working. Psychologists who study high performers have found that a measured, specific form of self-evaluation, not paralyzing anxiety, but clear-eyed questioning, is one of the most consistent markers of long-term growth. The people who get better over time are the ones who can look at their own work and ask hard questions about it. The doubt is not the enemy of your potential. It is the mechanism through which your potential gets refined. The problem is not that you doubt yourself. The problem is that you mistake the doubt for a verdict. A verdict says you are not good enough. The doubt you feel does not say that. It says you are paying close enough attention to notice where you could go further. That is a completely different thing. The sharpest people in every room are not the ones who feel the most certain. They are the ones who learn to keep going even when the doubt is loud. They understood something most people spend years trying to fight their way to. The doubt means you are in the right room. The people who feel nothing are standing outside it. If your brain will not let you feel finished, that is not a malfunction. That is the cost of caring about the quality of what you do. And that cost, paid consistently over time, is exactly what separates the people who grow from the people who only feel comfortable. Follow this channel. Every video is built to help you understand what is happening inside your mind, and why it is doing it. Subscribe if that is the kind of thinking you want more of.